Alright, I'm going to try this again, but now we've got Chester down here with us. He thinks he needs to be in the video. Don't you, baby? I don't know if you guys know Chester, but here he is. Chester! My great Pyrenees. So, let's see if he'll let me make this video without trying to take my leg off with his paw. So, what I wanted to talk about, if I can get my camera back right, was stress and Usher syndrome. So this, this last weekend, the one, if you guys have been following along, last week was extremely stressful week. Unexpected, out of my control, flat on stress. And I don't remember having, this was the worst my eyesight had ever been, was this last weekend. I remember a couple of times with my disease process that I have had times that I've just been like, oh. One time, it was when I realized I could no longer help my daughter on the computer. I couldn't read the screen anymore. And it was one day I was able to, the next day I wasn't. And I went to into my ophthalmologist, who was just great. And, it was more of a talk down. It was like, this happens kind of thing. You just have to accept it and kind of try to process it, And before that, I remember when I realized that I could no longer see the cash register, because, a cash register is, and I could only see this, and so I could no longer use the cash register when I had my business. I could no longer function in that business, and that was hard. And then before that, looking back, I believe I had symptoms of Usher before 2022, but I had bought a second business in 2022, and I had not been diagnosed, and I just thought, I'm having some problems, better bifocals, I'm getting older, that sort of thing. And after that second purchase, the stress of running two businesses in two different states, I think that was the trigger that exacerbated the Usher syndrome. Looking back on it now, I remember distinctly that I would stay there through the week, and then come back on the weekends, or vice versa, or half the week, or whatever. And the temporary place we had to live, it was kind of off-road, kind of turn off a main road. And more and more, I realized I could not find could not see that off-road to where our accommodations. I could not find it. And so I would pass it, go over a bridge, have to come back and try to find it. And then I remember one night, I was on the phone. I wasn't, like in the car, the phone was going. I had the speaker in the car. And I was on the phone and I was trying to drive and it was dark. And I just realized at that point, I stopped on the side of the road and realized I was seriously lost. I could not find my way back to the accommodations. And this was at night. All of this was at night. And at that point, it dawned on me that something is really wrong. And it had, it was a spiral. It was just within months. And knowing now what I didn't know then was the stress reaction, how it affects your eyes. And I believe that buying that second business, traveling so much, trying to make it work, I had probably 30 employees or something, and I think that point in time set off the ushers, just really exacerbated it. Looking back now, it's so much clearer to me now that I think about it, and I can realize, so the driving and getting lost was a major turning point. Not being able to see the computer anymore or the cash register screens, that was another turning point. When I sliced my foot open and sliced my tendon in half because I didn't see a knife. And 3 months of recovery and surgery and all that. That was another turning point. And then this last weekend. This last weekend was the worst my vision has ever been. And I do believe that stress showed me what was to come, and I'm not ready. And it also showed me that I've got to get a handle on the stressors in my life. Somehow, it has to be handled. Because otherwise, macular edema causes permanent damage. And I'm taking the drops every day, and I'm staying inside. It's cold out, it's cooler here. And that can be drying to your eyes. So I don't even go outside. I have been inside for like a week. I'm not even going outside to be around that cold air. I have been inside, taking my drops, but still I had that reaction. So I've got to be firmer. I have to say this, this is enough. Enough is enough. We've got to, whatever it is, we've got to take a hand, put it to bed and let me get on with my life with the health that I can say and the eyesight that I can say. So I'm usually quite patient. I'm usually quite mellow. But it's the things that are stressing me in life are things that shouldn't be, and things that need to be stopped. And we need to get a handle on it, and we need to go forward. And so, going into 2026, I feel like I have to fight for my health. I have to put myself first so that then I can take care of my kids. And it's just what's got to happen. So that's going in 2026. I'm hoping by the end of 2026 into 27, I will still have some eyesight left, and this will be behind me, and we can focus on the future and focus on positive things, and have a better 2027. So that was long-winded, but I had to get it off my chest. So thank you. I'm settling down for the night. I'll be back tomorrow. If I wake up with my eyes like they are tonight, I will be back tomorrow. If I wake up and they were like that this weekend, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Alright, you guys have a good night. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow.